Hola clase y bienvenidos a tu primer video del año. Hoy vamos a hablar sobre unas cosas muy importantes que puedes usar para hablar sobre ti mismo. Okay, so the subjects of today are subject pronouns, the verb ser, and adjectives. You'll notice that all of this is a review from things we did in Spanish 1, but we're going to make sure that we have those skills refined before we move on to any new grammar here in Spanish 2. Okay, first up, on your note guide, I would like you to fill out the chart on subject pronouns. To say I in Spanish, you say yo. To say you, familiar, as if when you're talking to a friend or someone you're on a first name basis with, you use the subject pronoun tú. To say he, she, you say él for he, ella for she, and then remember we use usted for you, formal. You would use usted with someone that you're not on a first name basis with, such as Mrs. Thompson. You would say, señora, ¿cómo está usted? Okay. Then up here we have nosotros and nosotras. Both of these pronouns mean we. The difference between nosotros and nosotras is that nosotras can only be used for a group of all females. Nosotros is for all males or both females and males. Vosotros y vosotras mean you all in Spain. Just like last year, we will introduce the vosotros, but it will not be on any quizzes or tests. In our last box here, remember that ellos means they. Okay, again, referring to a group of all males or males and females. Ellas means they, but everyone in the group is female. And then ustedes means you all. Okay, so if you're addressing more than one person. Hopefully you got all of your subject pronouns written down. If you need to pause me in order to complete that chart, please do so. Okay, in your next section, we're going to review the verb ser. We'll remember from Spanish 1 that the verb ser means to be. Its conjugation, soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. We sang a song last year in Spanish 1 that said, yo soy, tú eres. Okay, don't worry, we will sing that again this year to help you remember ser's conjugation. Okay, hopefully you have filled out ser on your note guide. Now, you'll remember from Spanish 1 that subject pronouns, which are written here in blue, they are used with the verb. Okay, they correlate. Yo soy means I am. But you'll also remember, like we did last year, that many times these subject pronouns are omitted. They aren't used. Okay, but I just wanted to show you here that yes, you can say yo soy alta, I am tall, or soy alta. Okay, let's do some practice to make sure that we are able to use ser. You have 8 questions here. I would like you to pause the video, work through these 8 practice questions, and then of course we will review our answer. To get you started, let's do number 1. I am short. Okay, so you need to write the correct form of ser that goes with yo. How would you say I am short? Hopefully you picked soy. Yo soy bajo. Okay, please work through the next 7 on your own. Okay, ahora repasemos. Let's review. Número 2, she is my friend. Ella es. Number 3, you are hardworking. Tú eres. 4, we are tall. Nosotros somos. 5, they are blonde. Ellos son. 6, Juanita is a brunette. Juanita es. 7, Juan and Eva are friends. Juan y Eva son. And lastly, Eva and I are funny. Eva y yo somos. Okay, the last topic of our video today is going to be adjectives. You can see here in these 8 practice activities that you just did that I used all sorts of adjectives to talk about these people. But what you'll want to remember about adjectives in Spanish is that they match the noun they are modifying in number and in gender. So let's take a quick look here at number 6. Juanita is dark-haired. She's a brunette. Okay, so Juanita is a girl. Therefore, we had to use moreno in the feminine form. Feminine singular version of moreno is morena. We'll get a little more in depth with that here in our upcoming slides. Okay, please go to the back side of your note guide. We remember that in English and in Spanish, adjectives are used to describe a person, place, or thing. Okay, so they're used to describe nouns. And in Spanish, there are 3 things you always must remember. These 3 things are not true in English, so it's a little bit challenging for us. Please write these down. The first thing, adjectives must always match the must match the noun in gender. Okay, so remember, ladies, when you're saying I'm tall, I'm athletic, I'm funny, unless you're a boy, they've got to end in A. So I'm tall, yo soy atlética. I'm funny, yo soy cómica. And so on. Number 2, adjectives must always match the noun in number. Okay, so you're going to have to make some adjectives plural. Okay, so if I'm saying the friends are funny, los amigos son cómicos. We commonly forget to change cómico. We would just say los amigos son cómico. No, your friends are plural, make cómicos plural. Lastly, this is tricky for us as well. Remember that your adjectives are going to come after the noun. So look at my little example I gave you. The tall girl. Remember steps 1 and 2. Okay, make sure that tall is going to be alta. Girl is just singular, so I'm okay with leaving it with alta, and then put it after. So my answer for that would be la chica alta. Okay, let's do some practice on our own and see if you kind of remember making adjectives match nouns. Okay, you have 6 practice questions here, but in 2 different sections. The first section, we're translating. Okay, so in number 1, we'll do that one together. The short woman. We need to translate that. So, first, how do we say woman? If you remember from Spanish 1, it is la mujer. Then we have short. The adjective short is bajo, but you've got to make bajo match. Okay, hopefully you wrote down la mujer baja. If you want to check your spelling, don't worry. After you pause me and work through these, there is an upcoming slide with the correct spelling of that. Okay, you have to work through 2 and 3 on your own. Go to 4, más práctica. We're going to write the correct form of the adjective in each sentence. So you're going to see an adjective left in the masculine singular, masculine singular, and you're going to need to change that to match the subject. So we'll do number 1 together. My sister is blonde. Okay, so sister is feminine singular, so Rubio must be feminine singular. Okay, so your final answer should be rubia. Okay, please pause me. Work through these 6 activities, and we'll check our answer on the next slide. Okay, aquí, repasemos. We already did number 1 together. So let's start with number 2. The athletic men. Men is plural. So we have los hombres atléticos. 3. The principal is hardworking. El director es trabajador. Here, though, you might have, because I didn't specify, did I want the feminine version or the masculine version of principal? You could have also made this feminine and said, la directora es trabajadora. And lastly, for the easy ones down here, let's go to 5. My friends are funny. Cómicos. Friends was masculine plural, thus cómicos is masculine plural. And the students are young. Los estudiantes son jóvenes. Did you remember that? Did you remember how to make adjectives plural? Same rule as making nouns plural. If your word ends in a vowel, you just add S. If it ends in a consonant, you have to add ES. And some of you may be going, why in the world did she accent the O of jóvenes? Well, like we talked about last year, your natural stress rules. In a word, joven, 2 syllables, a word that ends in a vowel and or S, your stress falls on the second to last syllable, here, jo, and we want to keep the stress on that syllable. So when I add ES, now I have 3 syllables, jóvenes. If I don't accent, then I put my stress on the wrong syllable. Don't worry, we will be doing a pronunciation unit where you learn how to break words into syllables, and that'll make much more sense. Okay, that's all we have for today. If you have any additional questions, please see your textbook. Also, on the last section of your note guide, please write down one comment or one question that you still have